Question. It's actually a long question, so I'm just going to read parts of it. Hi Kim Michaels, I crave motherly love, strong to the point it has changed and affected my psychology. My maladaptive daydreams are centered around a motherly figure accepting me holistically or giving me such unconditional love it looks unhealthy. No one in my life has understood this. There was a period in my life I exposed myself and was shamed and treated with disgust for craving this, because in this reality I do have a mother. She used to treat me in ways, and still does, I think a child shouldn't. However, I have forgiven her and feel no grudge against her in this present moment. So I'm struggling to understand why I can't love my mother in the current experience. When I came to be in this world, I loved her, just didn't feel it as it became conscious. I don't really hate personal figures in my life like that, but I do not understand why I can't love my mother in this reality. And then it goes on a lot, but so you can read that in the description if you want that. But what I wanted to comment on is really just this, that there are two issues here. First of all, most people I have met on the spiritual path didn't have a mother who could give them the emotional support that they needed. It's very, very common. It's a very common problem. So I can see that when the person is saying that he or she exposed this and was shamed for it, it's probably because you didn't grow up among a lot of spiritual people, because many spiritual I met would understand this, because they have acknowledged that in themselves. Myself, for example, my mother took care of me exemplary on the physical level. I had everything I needed, didn't lack for anything. But emotionally, she couldn't give me support because she'd never received it herself. And how are you going to give to a child what you have never experienced, what you've never seen? So it was not that I was really lacking in any way. I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is that most of us had mothers who couldn't give us unconditional love because they'd never received it. So most of us have an issue with our mothers as such. And the problem here really is that we are seeking to get horizontally from this world what we can really only receive vertically from a higher world. So I've talked about in many of my videos how we start out our journey in the physical realm by seeing ourselves as connected beings. We don't have a clear sense of what we're connected to, but we feel we're connected to something. Then at some point we go into the illusion of separation, use the duality consciousness to create a separate identity. And that separate identity, the ego and all these subconscious selves, has an existential lack. It really can never be satisfied. It can never be enough or good enough. But the ego cannot see this, so it is constantly seeking to get from this world horizontally what will fill it. But the ego is a black hole. It can never be filled. Doesn't matter how much you put into it. So there comes that point on the spiritual path where you have to consciously reconnect to something outside your own mind. And you have to consciously realize that you will never feel completely fulfilled by anything you get from this world. Whether it's money, love, sex, power, or motherly love. Because motherly love, unconditional love, you can only receive from above. You can't even get it from another human being. So really there's two aspects of this. First of all, there is this, if we don't realize this, we are projecting on other people that they should be able to give us this unconditional love. It may be on your mother, maybe on your father, it may be on your spouse, your love partner. That you should be able to get this from another human being. But you can't. You're putting an unreasonable demand on other people, and you're putting yourself in a state where you have an unrealistic expectation that just can't be fulfilled. You are really setting yourself up for disappointment. So there comes a point where you have to realize that in order to get these deeper feelings, like unconditional love, you have to get it from above. And you are capable of that because you have a connection. And the connection is to your higher self, to your I Am Presence, but also to the Ascended Masters. And there's an Ascended Master called Mother Mary, who was embodied as the mother of Jesus, but ascended after that lifetime. And she now holds a spiritual office of planet Earth as the Divine Mother for Earth. And she has offered, in dictations given through me, she has offered to help people with this problem of not being able to receive unconditional love or feel unconditional love. So you can apply to her, you can ask her. She has given a number of tools, a number of invocations and rosaries. For example, there's a rosary for loving yourself. There's a rosary for unconditional love. You can find this on my website called transcendencetoolbox.com. transcendencetoolbox.com. She's also given some teachings in this book, Healing Your Spiritual Traumas, which helps you go back and resolve the shock, the trauma of coming to Earth for the first time. So it's, if you really want to resolve this issue, the first thing I would do is make these calls, decrees, invocations, rosaries to Mother Mary. You'll find them on transcendencetoolbox.com, and then ask her for help. Ask her to help you see what subconscious selves you have that are blocking you. But the other thing I would say is that we also have the issue that the material realm, which can also be called the matter realm, mater, which is Latin for mother. And the mother realm can be very shocking to us on Earth. I have a whole playlist called Avatar Psychology, where I talk about how there's a group of beings who volunteer to come to Earth as avatars. And it was so difficult to come here that we received a major trauma by coming here. And what you need to recognize here is that this gave us a certain distrust of the mother realm, because suddenly we experienced a pain here on Earth to our physical bodies and our emotional bodies that we hadn't experienced on the natural planet that we came from. So we can have a deep distrust of the mother realm because we're always on the alert for something that could be painful. It could be torture, being killed, it could be disease, it could be all kinds of things. So this is something you can also heal by using these tools for healing your spiritual traumas. And if you really want to get to the bottom of this, then I recommend this book, Healing Your Spiritual Traumas. But I'd also really recommend going on transcendencetoolbox.com and finding these rosaries and invocations for loving yourself, unconditional love, nurturance. There are several others. So you can look through, there's a list of them, you can look through what appeals to you. And then give those and then ask Mother Mary to help you deal with this issue. And I think you will find that over time, if you're willing to make an effort, it will really shift. It'll change dramatically.